My name is Andrea Schmidt. I live in Brookings. I've been here for 4 years. My husband and 2 girls and I moved here from Omaha, Nebraska. I am a freelance copywriter. I do marketing and advertising and some public relations. I don't feel right when I can't run. It was when my foot was bothering me. Yes, it bothered me physically, but it bothered me in other ways too, because if you run a lot, you know that it's a great way to cope with stress. It's a great way to cope with just the world around you, and everything changes. Your perspective changes after you go for a run. Yes, it might be painful at the time, but afterwards, boy, I've never come home from a run and said, oh, I really wish I hadn't done that. It's always, I am so glad I did that. So when I couldn't run, that was a big deal for me. I was noticing some pain on the bottom of my foot, and it was enough that I couldn't run the way I wanted to. I was training for a half marathon at the time in the spring, and it just was really bothering me a lot. So I said, okay, I know that there is a new podiatrist in town. I'm gonna go see him. So I went and saw Dr. Haynes, and you could see it almost looked like a bruise on the bottom of my foot. So I went in and I said, okay, I don't know what this is. Is there something structurally wrong? I was a little nervous about this because running is a big part of my life. So when my foot was bothering me this much, and I knew that something had to be done, and Dr. Haynes said, yes, you should have it removed if you don't want the pain in your foot. So I had never had surgery before. I went into it, I wasn't really that nervous, partly because I was pretty comfortable with Dr. Haynes and with the whole procedure at Brookings Health System. They walked me through everything. I knew everything that was going to happen before surgery, during surgery, and after surgery. I was very well informed. I live here in Brookings. It's just so much more convenient. I trust people here. I know who I'm dealing with. I've had experience with, friends and family who have worked with the Brookings Health System, and it's always been positive. I have good confidence in the people here. And I know also that if they don't feel comfortable with it, that they won't just do it. I understand that completely because they are they're humble enough to know when they can't do things, but they are also very confident in what they can do. And I appreciate that a lot. So it was just so much easier here. And I know if I have questions, they're right down the street, no problem, and they always have returned my calls. It's very, very easy and convenient, and I have a lot of confidence in them. I think it's nice that they're local, first of all. I appreciate that. They're people who I can run into on the street, and whether or not we know each other, they're still my neighbors. They're people that I would greet and that would be friendly. Brookings as a whole is a friendly, amazing place. And so I know that the people who are there are the same kind of people. They went into healthcare for a reason. They're people who care about what happens to you as a person. Dr. Haynes is here in Brookings. He wants to be here. He really wants to be part of the community. I like that. I felt very confident in his abilities. He was very confident. What he didn't know, he said he didn't know. What he did know, he knew. He confirmed my diagnosis, which was good. He was very straightforward and honest with me. We could still, have some fun and laugh about things, but he was very professional. They got to know me immediately, and I'll even see them now other places, and I know them and they know who I am and I know they see tons of patients, but they still know who I am and always speak to me. That's really nice. The recovery time after my surgery was really about the same amount of time before my surgery when it was hurting so badly that I couldn't run on a regular basis. So I just had to be off of the front part of my foot for 3 weeks. And after that, I could walk, and the doctor said, you can take your time and get back into it, and what feels good, do. So that is really what I did. I just, I took my time a little bit at the beginning. And I feel pretty good. Maybe I can run. So after he gave me the go-ahead, I was back running almost immediately, and not far, but I was still running. So I would say 3.5 weeks after my surgery, I was back out on the roads running, just a couple of miles, 3 miles at a time. But, like I said, a month later, I was running a half marathon and felt fine and felt great that I could do it. And I was very grateful that I could do that, because if I hadn't had the surgery, I don't think I could have run it. I think I would have been sidelined for a while. I would absolutely recommend Brookings Health System, partly because of the atmosphere of the place. I mean, people are very friendly, they're very caring, they're very kind. They tell you exactly what to expect, and that is what happens. They give you all of the possibilities, and you're in the hands of people who care about you and the community that you're in. That's a very important thing for me, because I don't want anything that's impersonal. I don't want to be just another number going through the assembly line. Dr. Haynes knew me. It was a very positive experience. I would absolutely recommend it. If at all possible, go to the Brookings Health System for any procedure you need, because you'll be in good hands. I always felt like I was in the hands of people who knew me and what was important to me and would take care of me.